What's good, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Get Defensive Sports Network's I-80 football show. I am not going to say Parity football show. That is not even what that show is called. I am not going to say Parity podcast this time. This is the I-80 football show, your favorite and the best Big Ten podcast there is. As always, I'm your host, Jordan. I'm here with my co-host, Dante.
Yes, sir. How's it going, man?
I'm chilling. You want to know something funny?
What's that?
So you know how, we've been doing this podcast and we trying to get it out on social media and things. If you're listening to this, make sure you tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, a family member, tell a coworker, tell anybody. Football season's coming up, and this is when we're at our best, right? And most people listen, not everyone wants to listen to a football podcast during off season. So we're really coming in to the time that everyone cares about. So make sure you share Instagram and YouTube, Get Defensive Sports Network, TikTok, GD Sports Network. But that's not the point. What I'm saying is funny is, we're posting videos on TikTok and doing all this stuff. My favorite thing is when people be in the comments.
Am I going to have to, do I have to make a TikTok?
I don't know.
I hope not.
Why would you? I don't think you need one.
Okay, cool.
Just tell all your friends and stuff to follow us on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
We post videos on TikTok, YouTube, whatever. And my favorite thing is when someone's in the comments and they disagree with us, and then they be like, "You only got 20 followers." Which, first of all, if you're not following, follow us. But I just be like, that's not the dish you think it is. First of all, you found the comments. We're gonna blow up eventually. And also, we have people that listen to the show. We've been doing this for 5 years and just never posted on social media. Yeah. But you're a private TikTok arguing in my comments.
It got to you somehow.
You think I'm going to be offended because you got 20 followers. Okay,
it got to you. Shit, it got to you somehow. It got to you enough to legit comment.
Argue with me.
I'm not making no TikTok.
Argue. I don't know how many people in your chat. Make sure y'all follow us on social media. GD Sports Network, Get Defensive Sports Network. Stop playing with me before I come and find you. No, I'm just playing. I don't pay that much. But stop playing. Y'all be on here on the streams and shit. You can like a video. You can hit a retweet. What is it called? Repost on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It ain't that hard. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's just why are you in the comments then?
That's crazy.
I was gonna be like, oh no. We don't have 1 million followers. You're so right.
Right.
I apologize, sir, who's mad about women getting paid. You on TikTok arguing about the WNBA getting paid, and you think I'm going to be mad because you brought up my follower count? Bro, you're weird. Stop playing.
Quit playing. It's fine.
I always find that stuff funny. You commented, but then you be like, you don't got no followers. Cool. You don't have no friends. That's why you're in the comments.
You in the comments of a no follower page. How did it got to you somehow? That's all. Again, I like I said, people have told me. People told me your podcast clips have popped up on my feed. Hey,
it's coming. It's coming. Follow, retweet, repost, whatever that we not on Blue Sky, but you can put it on Blue, whatever it's called. You see it. We on Reels, we on IG, we on YouTube, whatever the hell YouTube Shorts,
YouTube Shorts.
We everywhere. But yeah, I'm chilling. How you living?
I'm chilling too. It's been a busy week at work. But
yeah,
it ain't gonna get no better.
No, I was waiting for that.
It's literally not. It's we got a bunch of projects sitting there in the woodwork, and it seems like it's about to hit us in a wave. So it ain't gonna get no better. But
yeah,
it is what it is. That way, hey, in my mind, I get more money.
I can't even complain for real. This is my last bit of freedom for 3 years. So
yeah.
I start school in September. It's done for me. It's cut.
Yeah. Oh man, it's about to. I just thought about it too. It's about to get football and wrestling. Oh no.
It's about to, I think that is so funny that I'm talking about school. And you're like, the sports I'm about to watch.
Because you go back to school, but the thing is, it's like,
I know.
Like, that's what's about to happen. Like, we ain't about to watch. It ain't gonna be doing nothing but watching that shit.
Yeah.
Last year, I remember last year I went out to some party thing or whatever. I just went out. It was one of the rare times. I had my AirPod in, listening to the Ohio State Oregon game.
Bro, stop playing with me. I just want y'all to know, everyone thinks that I'm crazy, and I want y'all to know that I am a good friend. And I don't know if he listens to this podcast, but if you do listen to this podcast, just know I'm a good friend, because I am going on a bachelor party and a wedding, and they are both falling on Ohio State's two biggest games.
Yep. Yeah.
One of, legitimately, the bachelor party is during the Texas game, and the wedding is the Penn State game. There are 14 weeks in college football, and the 2 weekends my boy picked, and you know him, I'm not going to out him on the podcast. You know weekends my boy picked.
I know what it
is the Texas game and the Penn State game. And I ain't even said nothing to him. Dog. If he listens to this episode, this is the first time he's going to hear it. It's cool. I just want him to know, and everyone else, I will be watching the game at his wedding. I can't help that. Actually, I don't think I'm going to be watching the game at his wedding, because I think his wedding, I need to look at the invitation. I think his wedding's in the evening. But I will be watching the game while we're getting ready. And I will be watching the game.
That ain't your friend, sir. Is crazy.
No, yeah. Listen. It would be different. I give him a slight pass because he's not from Ohio. Mm-hmm. So he probably didn't check the Ohio State schedule. You know what I'm saying? he's from Maryland. We're gonna talk about Maryland today. Nobody's checking the Maryland football schedule. They just doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? If he was from Ohio, though, if he was from Ohio, I'd be like, "Hey, dog, you ain't checked the schedule."
Yeah, hey, what you doing? See, listen, I promise you, I get married. Unfortunately, it's gonna have to be a summer. Don't play with me.
My wedding is in April. In April. Basketball is on, but it's not even peak basketball yet. We're not in the playoffs. First of all, I did not pick my wedding date because of sports entirely. It was very, 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 very largely based on other things, and I also didn't really pick the date. But I would have put up a much bigger fight if it was in the fall. I didn't have to do that. It's just.
You tell me, hey, no, I always wanted, maybe October. October? Oof.
So,
baby, October.
Hey, this is not Drake.
Think about it. Think about it. Don't let my teams be good over the past week. October? You sure about that? That's when I go to my annual Steelers game. What we doing?
Yeah. I didn't have to worry about it. My wife would have been really mad if I was like, "Yeah, we can't get married on that day because of football," and I would have understood her being mad. But I didn't have to worry about that. April's perfect. Nothing's happening in April. Don't nobody care.
April's cool. April's cool.
April's cool.
You start saying May, I'm gonna be like,
"What are you missing?" You know,
May, maybe, but
yeah.
What the Lakers doing?
Honestly, you can do whatever you want to. You can get married whenever you want to. You can do anything. Just know.
If you invite me to your wedding and it's in the fall,
watching football at your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You were at the baby shower we went to, which was also on Penn State weekend, and people was coming up to me that I never met asking me to score. I watched the game, the whole baby shower.
Yep.
That wasn't my friend. I didn't know her, but it doesn't matter. I watched the game, the whole baby shower. Her cousins, brothers, everybody was who winning. What's the score? Start to finish. I had my portable charger and everything. Stop playing.
Quit playing with me.
I'm just glad that the Ohio State Penn State game is not midday, because that would be tough. It's at noon. I was like, it just has to be at noon or 8. Because at 8, I'm just leaving the wedding early. At noon, the wedding probably hasn't started. If that game was at 3:30, that'd have been a dilemma. I would have done my service as a brother, but that would have been tough. that would have been that one would have been hard for me. Like,
there's been plenty of times I was like, I've been at Halloween parties, all types of stuff. What are you doing? Watching the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you at a party. Yeah, I know.
You've been at parties at my house where I had the game on mute.
Yep.
You can play whatever game you want. Mm-hmm. You can have whatever music you want, but that game is on in the
that game
gonna
be on.
Mute. I don't listen.
That game on.
I'm respectful to my life and my wife. You don't gotta listen to the sound. That's cool, but the game is on the background in the TV. Like anytime we have a party at my house, the game is on. Or UFC, depending on what time of year it was. But yeah,
but the game is on.
It was on. I am who I am.
I watched the whole Steelers game at a party from start to finish. Me and you know, because we went out that New Year's that I was in the club watching the Ohio State game when Ohio State played Georgia. They were like, man, you don't want to go to this orange soda party? I said, really, not really. Not really. I remember years ago.
But
that was years ago. Yeah.
So I was the Alabama game, like the Georgia game when Ohio State missed that kick.
Yes,
they were in the club. I was in the club watching football on my phone on New Year's. I am who I am. I'm sorry.
I remember there was one time years ago when it was Ohio State in the playoffs playing somebody. And I'm at dinner. She was like, please don't. I was like,
see, I basically
I'm going to pay attention. I was like, I'm just going to put it on mute. I'm not going to put my AirPod in. I'm going to talk. We're going to still communicate stuff, but I got a job to do.
Yeah. It's almost that time for me to give relationship advice on how to keep your marriage going. Because I have to do it every football season.
Hey guys, when
you do it the right way, you can get away with some certain things. Like last year, Shorty was trying to do something on New Year's Day, and I was like, "Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ohio State has the early game. Just let me watch the game, and then the rest of the day." There are other games on, but the rest of the day, I'm with you.
I'm yours.
You can do whatever.
I'm yours.
But can brunch start at 3:30?
Mm-hmm.
But I got my equity in. You know what I'm saying? I did my things on. So I have sacrificed the NFL for college. I had to. I understand I can't have both days. But when I be like, listen, you gonna call me crazy, but Ohio State play at noon. I can't go. I'll be there at 3:30. I get away with it. It's all right.
Back in the day, it depends. Because if the Steelers were definitely going to make the playoffs, I got both. I definitely got both.
Yeah, well, the Colts suck right now, and I don't care as much about the NFL. Like, I'll leave.
Oh, this season, people might have me on Sunday.
You said I might be outside on Sunday.
I might check in from time to time, but bruh, Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback, and I've never been so uninterested. So
you dog,
I've never been so uninterested. So
I hate that for you, and I hate the fact that I'm about to have to get Sunday ticket because last year was the worst year in my life watching football.
Oh, I believe you.
And it's so crazy being from Ohio, growing up having to watch the Browns, Steelers, and Bengals, and for a lot of those years, the Browns and the Steelers were bad. But for me, at least, that's home, so I had a little part of interest. Moving to New York and having to watch the Jets and the Giants, I'm telling you, there are so many Sundays I just didn't watch football until 3, until 4. Until the national game came on, I would turn on my TV, and it would be like, Giants Bucks. I said, nope.
Hey, I'm not watching that. Brother, that happened to me here. We didn't get a Cleveland game. I think Cleveland and Cincy were both on a bye. And we didn't get the Steelers game or the Ravens game. I think we got Giants and Bucks. And I was like...
I said, But I'm telling you, I watched so little.
I watched anime.
No, I'm telling you, bro. I watched so little football this year because every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, I sat down and I said, ew. No, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching Danny DeVito, whatever that nigga's name was, and Danny Dimes and all that. Like, I'm not doing it.
Bro,
no. Jets quarterback. It was Aaron Rodgers. I'm not watching Aaron Rodgers on the Jets.
Yeah, no, that shit was crazy because I was like, damn, and Baker Mayfield's good, but no. I was like, I already watched the Giants this year, and I literally paid to watch the Giants this year. Now I'm good.
I went to a Giants game.
Followed on TikTok,
and I was blessed. I went to a Giants game because I have a friend who works in New Jersey, and I was in a box, and I was with a Giants fan, and I was like, I don't think I watched the game. I just ate and drank. I couldn't tell you what happened. All I know is I was in a box at a Giants game.
I watched the Giants game because they played the Steelers.
Yeah.
Beautiful ticket seats and not that expensive because it was the damn Giants.
Yeah. I really hope New York fixed that thing because the reason I didn't get Sunday ticket last year was because New York doesn't let you pay for it. And like, I'm sorry, my job don't pay me. New York doesn't let you pay for it in force or whatever it is. And I don't have $800 to drop on a Sunday ticket right now, but I'm going to find it this year. I'm going to find something because I am not watching. I'm lying. I am going to watch the Giants.
I have to ask my cousin something. Yeah, I got to ask my cousin something. I think he has Sunday ticket. I don't know. Can you share that? Or are they like Netflix?
Well, Sunday ticket is through YouTube TV now.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. You can do a standalone Sunday ticket on YouTube, but I don't know. Don't get me lying. I don't know what you can and can't share. What we are going to share today is the news, our traffic update, and we're going to get into the show because we've been talking about. And honestly, this 16 minutes is going to be much more interesting than the rest of the show. And I do apologize to all of you, but honestly, this is our Big Ten. And as we like to brag as the best Big Ten podcast around, we talk about every team in the Big Ten, all 18 of them,
all the,
and that means we got to talk about the dregs. We got to talk about the bottom of the bottom. Literally, the tier is titled bottom feeders. So I appreciate every single one of y'all for sticking with us and going through this, but we are talking about the bottom of the bottom. We're gonna get into the news, but this episode is UCLA, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Maryland, and Purdue. Gross. Sick. Nasty work. But we're going to make it entertaining.
I really don't want to talk about Northwestern.
You know?
Really don't.
We're going to do it, though. Because that's what we're here to serve the people. As they say on TikTok, we're here to serve our 20 followers. Like, I'm going to care about that.
21 now.
Stop playing. What are you talking about? That's big 21.
Big 21.
What's 10 plus 9? I actually don't even know how many followers on TikTok. But so yeah, traffic update. The Score Act. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. We're not talking about this. Exactly. So basically, we got 39 followers. Stop playing with me. The Score Act. Basically, the college football leadership has been begging Congress to make basically they want antitrust. They want what the NFL has. Long story short, you cannot be a monopoly. NFL, NBA, technically as business enterprises are monopolies. And so essentially they have an antitrust agreement that allows them to govern their sport in certain ways that like Verizon couldn't do, right? Okay. That doesn't happen in college football because college football is not exactly a business and Title IX and different things like that. They're hoping now with like the revenue share and the various things that Congress will give them some sort of antitrust agreement, something that essentially stops them from getting sued because they've been getting sued like crazy, as you all know who've been paying any attention, and we've been talking about it for years, it feels like. So one of those things is called the Score Act. And basically the only thing I want to say about this is it passed the committee, which this is the first such act. This is the first bill about college football that's ever even got to the committee, which means there's a chance it could be voted on the House floor. It is probably still going to not be denied. It does not have bipartisan support, but it was just interesting because there is this huge sort of push for this, that this is the first bill that's ever made it even out of any sort of committee. And so there's a chance that in the future we may get something from Congress. I don't know. That's all I have to say about it. I didn't even look to see what was in it because I don't think it's going to pass, but it happened.
It might not pass, but
it's still newsworthy.
Yeah, it's going to be a step into the same direction. Purdue. Ugh. My bad.
Next piece of news is it is currently Big Ten Media Days, where every conference does this, of course, but where the Big Ten, all of the schools, all 18 of them, go with their head coaches and typically 2 to 4 players, and they do a bunch of interviews to sort of prep for the season. When media days start, you know that we're really like getting into the season. And so there were just a couple of things that I wanted to mention from Big Ten Media Days because it's really just a bunch of people talking, and like I'm not really super interested in a bunch of people talking. But the one thing that came out today is Lincoln Riley's a loser. We all knew that. Loser Riley. Stinking Riley, as one of my friends calls him.
For real, that's Lincoln. A good one. Yeah, Stinking Lincoln is hilarious. That's hilarious.
As we talked about this because it made me mad. Basically, USC and Notre Dame is one of the best rivalries in sports. Probably top 5 if you ask me. They've played 95 times. Their current deal is up or about to be up. And basically, Lincoln Riley is stopping it from happening. He went to the podium and basically said, which is just, it just doesn't make sense because it's contradictory. He basically was like, yeah, I want to play this game. This is one of the reasons I came to USC, but I don't want to play the game if it's going to hurt USC's chances to make the playoffs. My brother, you're hurting their chances to make the playoffs.
Win the game.
Right? That is such a loser-ass take. He was basically just like, yeah, if Notre Dame was bad, I'd play him, but since they're good, I'm afraid it's going to hurt.
But my thing is, but hold on. Right, so you're not making the playoffs regardless. But the crazy part is that if Notre Dame was bad and you played them, it could still hurt your chances of making the playoffs.
Where if you beat them, being the team who was just in a national championship, it would help.
Hell, but my thing is like even if you beat them when they're bad, it could
doesn't
hurt.
Do nothing.
It doesn't do anything, or it could hurt you. And then what if you lose? Because again, you lose stupid games like that. Nah, it really does hurt you. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Play the game. Play the game.
Bro. It's just childish. Like he's literally about to ruin history because he can't win games at USC, and now he doesn't want to play Notre Dame. And it's crazy because they're going to let him make this decision like he's going to be there for long. But if they have a season that we're predicting, he's going to get a new job, or they're ultimately going to fire him eventually because he's not been good there. So it's just like. That just made me mad. It was just childish to be like, yeah, I want to play the game, but I don't want to play it if it hurts our playoff chances. So then you don't want to play it because you don't want to play the playoff with Caleb Williams. And this is not the Caleb Williams fan club, but Caleb Williams won the Heisman. He was a good college quarterback. He did go for 4,000 yards and 30-plus touchdowns. He did a lot of things, and you were still losing games. So I don't think Notre Dame is your problem. I think you're the problem, personally. Just play the game, bro. Like, 95.
I don't understand why you wouldn't play the game. I don't get it.
Because every time he speaks, it just makes me think about the fact that people were like, yeah, he left Oklahoma because they were going to the SEC, and he thought USC would be easier. And then as soon as he got to USC, they decided to go to the Big Ten.
Go to Big Ten, yeah.
So I know he was crying and throwing up. The boy is running away.
Like, would you from conflict? You don't want to play the Notre Dame? Because my thing is, if you would have stayed in the ACC, would you be saying this? Or not the ACC, but the
Big 12.
Big 12. Would you be saying this?
Oh, wait. What you see? Are you talking about Oklahoma or are you talking about
USC?
USC.
I mean,
if they would have stayed in the Pac-12.
If they would have stayed in the Pac-12, you still would have to play Notre Dame.
Yeah, but he probably thinks the conference was easier, which it wasn't because he didn't win the Pac-12 when he was there.
Yeah, he didn't win. And again, those Pac-12 teams, the better Pac-12 teams are in this division. You're losing those games still.
Talk about it.
You're still losing those games. There's not the only playing Notre Dame, even losing to that's so stupid because that Notre Dame being good, if you were good and did really well, losing to Notre Dame would help you. Oh my fuck. Oh my fuck. He doesn't want to play the game.
He just doesn't want to play the game, and he's scared.
He just doesn't want to play.
You're a loser, stinking Lincoln.
You're a loser.
Stop playing.
You're a loser.
My friend needs to trademark that stinking Lincoln. I'm with it. The next thing I want to talk about before we get into our preview, everyone hates Tony Petitti right now. Tony Petitti is the commissioner of the Big Ten.
Big Ten,
and basically because he is at Big Ten Media Days, he has to defend his 4+4+ whatever playoff spot thing. And in my opinion, he's doing a good job of defending it, whether you like it or not. But, you know, we talk about this all the time where it feels like every once in a while the national media gets like a battery in its back and they all write the same articles. And currently they're all writing the Tony Petitti's fucking idiot article, basically. And I just think a lot of it is like super disingenuous, and I don't like it because, and it's not even to defend him because first of all, what do I look like defending a rich white man? I just don't think his idea is as bad as people are making it seem, especially because I think their arguments are disingenuous. Like one of the dudes was like, you want us to put four Big Ten teams in, but what happens if there's 4 Big 12 teams at the same time and they don't get in? We did the research on this here podcast. There has never been a single season since 2014 where there were 4 Big 12 teams good at the same time. So you're arguing against it with a hypothetical. Like, it's one of those things where like stuff starts to sound crazy. You know, like you make like a logical argument and people's like, well, what if you wake up and get hit by a train? And it's like when you have to start saying unbelievable things to tear down my argument.
That like, is, when you like stuff that is very statistically hard to happen. Like it's almost statistically impossible. And like, so far Big 12 has proven that. Like it's possible, I guess.
Yeah. And most of this was the Big 12 that had Texas and Oklahoma in it. If your argument, like, listen, there are arguments against doing it. Cool, fine. But if your argument is, well, what happens if the Big 10 is bad one year and the Big 12 has 5 good teams? You sound fucking dumb because that's not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. It hasn't happened in the last 11 seasons because we looked at the data. I bet you could go further than that. It didn't happen. And the Big 12 is worse. Like, the Big 12, in my opinion, is the most fun conference to watch because all the teams are even, but you're not going to have a single season where there are 4 Big 12 teams worthy of the playoff. Just say you don't want to do it, and that's cool, because that's fine. You don't have to want to do it, but like to do the hypothetical of like, well, what happens if there's a season where there's 4 good Big 12 teams and 4 good... You think there's going to be a season where there's 8 teams from the ACC and the Big 12 in the 16-team playoff? Put down the bottle, big fella. Put the pipe down.
Like this might be the time in college football where it could be the closest of possibly happening, and it still won't because it's gonna be the most parity and the most diverse between teams because teams are going to be able to bring in transfers with money and stuff.
Right,
but it still won't happen.
Not 4, especially at the same time simultaneously where the Big Ten's only going to have 2 or 3 teams that are worthy. What are you talking about? But I started watching The Wire again. Bubbles ain't never been that high. And that nigga was high, dog. I'm just saying. Bubs ain't never been that high. Bubs is jealous of the crack that boy is smoking. And it just made me mad because it's just like, I don't care enough to defend this because I think the Big Ten, first of all, I just think a lot of people aren't smart enough to even understand what the Big Ten is doing. All of the coaches basically came out and supported this model and then talked shit about the SEC. I don't think the Big Ten really wants this model. I just think they want the SEC to go to 9 conference games. And SEC, stop being scary. Just go to 9 conference games. The singular second the SEC goes to 9 conference games, their Big Ten's probably going to be cool with the 5+11 because as much as everyone's like, oh, the 5+11 helps the SEC, it also helps the Big Ten. We're going to talk about it over the next 4 weeks. If there was a 16-team conference, which means 9 and 3 teams would get in, there would probably be 5 or 6 Big Ten teams who had a chance to get in, and I would argue probably 5 would get in. I think that this is going to be the way you mocked it, not as much because you made it a little bit more even than I did, but the way I have like my schedule prediction, the Big Ten has 6 teams with records 9 and 3 or better, right? So if it was a 16-team,
I don't believe that's happening.
5 teams are going to get in. At least 5 are going to get in if it happened the way that I have it. And I think it's going to happen that way because I think a couple of teams are really, really bad. Like you gave a couple. I'm very interested. I really love doing this because we pick all the games. I'm very interested to see some of the wins that you gave some of these teams because, like, just to give a sneak peek, like you gave Wisconsin 5 wins. That's not happening. I don't know where you found 5. Like I don't know where. Just those 5 wins alone is like taking those wins away from them is how I get to teams that are 9 and 3 because you had to have them beating one of the teams that have 9 and 3 or something crazy. It doesn't matter. We're gonna get to it. That's the point of the show.
Yeah, I have because the reason why is because those teams that lose those games have proven that they can. Like they've shown that they can. I could be wrong. This would be the year probably where it swings back to in your favor. For real, and you probably win.
For those of you who don't know, I was big 3-0, and I felt bad. I didn't want Dante to quit the show, so I gave him a little pity win last year. I let him.
I got 2 wins in a row.
You didn't.
We've been doing this for 5 years. Wait,
this is
hold
the
on.
5th year.
You sure I only won once?
No, and you got you've only won once. Never
lost. 2 years. I thought it went 3-2.
No, this is our 5th season doing it. We've only done it 4 times. I was 3-0 and you won last. You see how he tried to do revisionist history because he was getting mocked.
I'm not trying to do revisionist history. So, chill out.
I gave him his 1, and now I'm coming back to the crown. If you don't know what we're talking about, we pick every game. Like literally every single game in the Big Ten. I did the math. It's like 180 games. And basically we just do, and this we'll actually use this to transition into our preview. We pick every game and we do a straight up win-loss. So if I say team A wins the game and they win the game, I get a win. I get a point. If I say team A loses the game and they win the game, I get an L. It's just straight up, did we get the prediction right? We predict every single game, which is very hard. And at the end of the day, we come up with the record. We're actually pretty good at this. Every single year we've done it, we've been over 70% correct. And it is 18 times 12. Oh my God. It's 200. We picked 216 games. 216 games, and every year we've done it, we've been over 70%. I always forget to find last year's percentage, so I'm going to see if I can do that so I can tell you what we did last year. But yeah, so, and we do, it's a contest, right? What's the point of doing this? It's not a contest. We see who wins. The first 3 years, I won. Dante won last year. He low-key smacked me up last year. I was too high on Ohio State, I guess. They messed me up. And who was it? Was it Nebraska that messed me up? Or was it Illinois? There was someone.
It was Indiana winning a bunch of games that really messed you up.
Because like I thought Indiana was going to be bad, and then they won 11 games, so that was not good for me. But yeah, so
too.
Oh, easily. So yeah, this we'll just use that to transition into our preview. But yeah, I just think everybody is hating on Tony Petitti, and I just think it's funny because it's just like, first of all, the idea is really not that bad. Also, the arguments against it are so stupid, it's hard for me to care. Because, like, I'm fine with you not liking it. But, again, when you have to say, what if something that's never happened happens? Like, ultimately, Petitti's thing is based on data. It's based on the fact that almost every single year, again, me and you did the math, that almost every single year, the Big Ten's going to get 4 or 5. The SEC's going to get 4 or 5. He just wants to put it in writing. It's fine for you not to want to put it in writing. Cool, whatever. Do whatever you want to do. But yeah, we just don't have to lie and be disingenuous, and everyone's like doing all this stuff about him, acting like he's on some like crazy stuff, and it's just like at the end of the day, he's doing what any conference commissioner should do. He's advocating for his people, and he's also trying to stop the Big Ten from being scary. Play 9 conference games.
The SEC.
SEC for being scary. Mm-hmm. Play 9 conference games. Stop being soft. But yeah, all right, we in it. Big Ten preview. As we talked about, we are the best Big Ten podcast. We are also one of, if not the only, that actually in depth every single week, even when it pains us, talks about every single team. We again pick every single game. It is 216 games. Last year, I found it. Last year, Dante won the picks, and he went 90-35.
Whew. I almost got 100, right? 90-35 is nice. That's nice.
Let me
and we have been getting better every year. I think I might go. I'm definitely going to go down this year but I'm still going to be around my winning percentage.
Yeah. Also, I lied. It is not 216 games because the Big Ten teams play each other. So last year it ended up being 125 games. Mm-hmm. Like, we do pick every game for every one, but when you do the math of like how many actual games it ends up being 125 because obviously they play games against each other, so that doesn't get counted twice. If that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, it was a total 100. It was 125 games. Dante went 90-35 for a percentage of 72%. I went 86-39. These are always close. Oh my God, I fell under 70. That's disgusting. I hate that for myself. I went. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 68%, almost 69%. So we accurate with this thing. Keep that thing on us. Don't play with us. And so, yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to start with Purdue. And I do apologize for your ears, but just understand you didn't have to do the reading on Purdue. So as much as you may not want to hear it, we had to do the reading. So Purdue is... Purdue and or Maryland is going to be the worst team in the conference. Just straight up, straight down. We don't have to play it no other way. We are not going to spend a lot of time on them because it is bad. A couple of things about Purdue. Last year, Purdue had the worst season it's ever had in 134 years playing. Ryan Walters, who is an excellent defensive coordinator, who is the defensive coordinator at Washington. So in a couple of weeks, when we talk about Washington and you're like, why is he high on Washington? It's because Ryan Walters is no longer a head coach. I hate to see a black head coach get fired, but he should have never taken that Purdue job. He went 5-19 at Purdue and ended up getting fired. They were just absolutely awful. So the coach gets fired. And then they lose 34 players in the transfer portal, 12 of which were starters. And the most interesting thing about Purdue is Purdue has had good players for years. Like, Purdue has had players who went to other teams and immediately were stars. That's probably going to happen at Oregon. They have Dylan Thieneman. Max Clare is literally rated as the best tight end in the country right now. He was on Purdue last year. He's now at Ohio State. They had Nick Scourton, I believe his name was, one of the best defensive linemen in the country. He went to Texas A&M. He didn't do anything at Texas A&M because nobody does anything at Texas A&M. It's literally the place for your career to die. But he was Purdue always had good players, so it made it even worse that they were so bad because then they go into the transfer portal and they all go to like big jobs. They leave Purdue and they go to Alabama, they go to Oregon, they go to Ohio State, they go to Texas A&M, and it's like, well, if you had all these good players, why didn't you win? It's Purdue. They fired the coach. They hired Barry Odom from UNLV. I do think he's a good coach. He did turn UNLV around. He made them 9-5. They played in the Mountain West Conference game, and then in 2024, they went 11-3. So he turned them around. And so if anyone can turn Purdue around, it's going to be him. But it's not going to happen this year. And the thing that we keep talking about, like if you haven't been following the show for years, 3 years ago and the year before that, I literally like advocated for so many coaches to get fired every week. It was literally a running bit on the show, and I was so dead ass. Almost all of them got fired. This year,
they're all about going now.
And so, like now, the Big Ten is actually a conference full of really good coaches. And so, because of that, even if you're a good coach, like Barry Odom is, someone has to lose these games. And so, like, who knows what Purdue's going to be in a couple of years? I think that he can make them better, but someone has to be bad for that to happen. Rest in peace, Maryland. Like, someone's got to hit the bottom. And so, but this year,
I'm crying.
There's just too much change happening to genuinely believe that Purdue can be good.
They have 55 transfers.
Yeah, I mean, they literally had to flip over
70 new players.
Yeah, it's bad. Literally, like they lost.
Insane.
In my opinion, the only good thing about Purdue is I do like their quarterback Ryan Brown. And I like their running back, Devin Mockabee. But, like, Devin Mockabee is a good running back if he, like, played in the 80s. And that, like, he loves contact and he's super big, but, like, he's just not a game changer in a way that's, like, really going to matter. And so I do think Purdue could be fun in certain games, but ultimately they just lost too much. This is not a rebuild that can be done in a year. Like, I think of this like Michigan State, but worse. Michigan State hired a really good coach last year. I really like Jonathan Smith, but he couldn't do it in year one. Like, he just couldn't. No. And so Michigan State,
really.
They're going to be a little bit better, but they're not going to make a huge jump. And so that sort of is what it is. Like you said, they have over 50 transfers. They have a new coach. They have new coordinators. They've lost all 5 starters on their offensive line, which, in case you were wondering, that's a really bad thing. They're also going to start. They're also going to start from scratch on the defensive side of the ball. They had 9 starters on their defense, and they all transferred to Power 4 jobs. Yeah. Which, again, like, this means they're not transferring to Kent State. They're not going to Miami of Ohio. They're not going to Tulane. No, again, they're going to Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, Georgia, Texas. Like, they're going to big schools. They lost a Big Ten Freshman of the Year in Dylan Thieneman, who literally has had 100 tackles in back-to-back seasons. This is the point where I tell you every single year, if you have a safety who has 100 tackles, your defense is dog shit. But he was able to have 100 tackles. He's a good player. They lost in.
It depends on the safety.
No.
No,
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
What if you're Troy Polamalu?
Did Troy Polamalu ever have 100 tackles?
I believe so.
I bet you he didn't. We can Google it right now.
We can. We sure can. I'm gonna Google it.
And Troy Polamalu is what? 3 at worst best safety of all time?
I mean, yes, but
like, I would put Ed Reed over him, but I don't know who I'd put second if not him. I'm not like a safety historian, but like, there are not many over.
You're talking about solo tackles?
No, combined. Never had 100.
Never.
He had close.
Never had 100. Twice he came close.
Yeah.
In his second season, and then in 2011, he came close twice. But okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
And for those of you who are wondering, why do you not want your safety to have 100 tackles?
Your linebackers are missing tackles, are getting caught up.
Your safety is your last line of defense. And if he misses that tackle, which, hey, Troy almost never missed a tackle, but if he misses that tackle, it's almost guaranteed to be a touchdown, or it's a really, really long play. You don't want your safety making tackles because that means they got through the first and second line of defense, which is your defensive line and your linebackers. The only people on your team having 100 tackles should be linebackers because they are at the front of every play. Your safety is literally the safety valve. A good safety is going to have anywhere between 50 and 75 because like they're gonna fill on the run. You're gonna blitz them because they're good. Like you're gonna get them involved because you don't want that player to only be in the back end because then they can take him out of the game. But if your safety has 100 tackles, your defense is dog shit. I don't care what anybody says. Ohio State safety had 100 tackles a couple years ago. The defense was terrible. Caleb Downs is the best safety we've ever had. He had like 70 tackles last year because we had a good defense. It is a time-honored truth in football. You cannot tell me a single safety that had 100 tackles and then also show me a good defense. And if you do, fuck you. But you're not going to. Good luck with the research. Good luck. You're not going to. So anyways, ultimately, 55 transfers, 15 high school commits. They have 70 new players. And the kicker in the 70 new players is a zero. Of them were rated 4 stars or better. So, Purdue's going to be bad.
Goodness.
Did I miss anything, Dante? Do you have anything you want to say about Purdue?
I like, because I need you to, like, I don't think people understand. So, what is there, like 132 teams? You know?
And
college football in FBS,
it's 100 the number keeps going up. I think it's 136 now.
136. Okay, they are in the bottom 5 in almost about everything, or at least they're from the best number I see here.
Sorry, 134.
134. The best number I see here that they ranked on anything. Because I'm not even going to do O-line run push and explosive rush. Like, I'm not even going to do that.
It's 90.
It's 90.
When you do opponent adjusted, which is a fake stat, they get into the 50s. But if you just look at their straight stats, it's 90. They were 90th in negative play percentage. Everything else is worse than that.
Worse. And then they were also 90th in yards per carry.
Yeah. Again, there's 134 teams. They were 131 in scoring defense, 131 in points per play, 133 in yards per attempt. This is an offensive stat, and 133 in QB rating.
They did. I mean, just you were having a field day if you went against Purdue.
Basically,
they were 130 in the scoring offense.
Yeah, they won one game last year, and it was against Indiana State. It was an FCS team. They lost to everyone else.
Even they lost to Notre Dame. Yeah, they lost to Notre Dame 66-7. And then they broke the record. They broke their own record the last game and lost 66-0.
Yep.
To Indiana.
Purdue no team in the Big Ten, no team in the Power Four should be losing 66-0. So, Purdue, bad. Maybe it changes eventually. I do think Barry Odom is a good coach. I don't know. I lied. I know why they take these jobs. It's money.
They only moved the ball 67 yards in the Indiana
game. Total 67 yards in 60 minutes. That's 1 yard a minute.
Just about.
It's a little over 1 yard a minute.
Yeah, like that might be like 1 point.
Is it 1.0 something?
Yeah, per
crazy.
Like, God damn. Per minute.
Yeah. Oof. Per minute. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the schedule because, oof, God, and honestly, I think I'm giving them too much faith. I think you might be right. One last thing to say. About our previews is the singular second we say it, we can't change it. We can change it up until when we say it, but the singular second we say it, it is stuck. We cannot go back and change it no matter what we want to do. I'm going to stick with this. I don't think I should say it. I'm going to stick with it, but I'm probably going to be wrong. Okay. We'll go through their schedule. We'll predict their win-losses. Purdue, first game, Ball State. I have a win. You have a loss. Second game, Southern Illinois. We both have a win. And then we all have losses. So I have them winning the first 2 games against Ball State and Southern Illinois. You have them losing to Ball State, beating Southern Illinois, and then it's all losses from there. Those teams in order are USC, at Notre Dame, bye week, Illinois, at Minnesota, at Northwestern, Rutgers, at Michigan, Ohio State, at Washington, bye week, Indiana. Not only are they a bad team, they also legitimately have a hard schedule. Like Notre Dame, Illinois, Ohio State, and Indiana are all playoff participants. Mm-hmm. People, I don't agree with this, but a lot of people nationally think Michigan, partially because they have an easy schedule, could be a playoff contender. And Washington is probably not going to be a playoff contender, but if they win anything less than 8 games, I'd be surprised. Yeah. Like, legitimately, they play a very hard schedule, and they're going to be bad. So I have Purdue at 2-10. You have them at 1-11 for back-to-back years.
Yep.
Any final thoughts on Purdue before we move on?
No.
But moving on to
Watch USC lose that game.
They're not going to. I would love to see it, though, but they're not going to. The next team that we have is Maryland. Maryland is a team that is, if you listen to this show, you are not surprised that they're in the bottom, but it's technically a surprise in the bottom because they have been good, not last year, but a couple years before that, they were good, decent enough, 6 to 8 wins. But all of that was on the back of Talua Tagovailoa. I hate to do this because I hate to see a black man down, has consistently, even when they were winning 7-8 games, has consistently ranked Mike Locksley as one of the worst coaches in the conference. And it's largely because you are in the DMV. Some of the best talent in the world comes from the DMV.
Yep.
And then on top of that, you're very close to Jersey. No, the problem is he does get the talent. And then he doesn't utilize them, and they always transfer. He's had so many 5-stars that he landed. Linebackers, tight ends, wide receivers.
Oh, yeah, he uses them terrible.
Or they just go there. They're like, I'm going to go to Maryland because it's my home school. I want to be close to home. They spend a year in the program, and they're like, this program is the worst I've ever seen, and then they leave. And they go to Ohio State, they go to Alabama, they go to Georgia, wherever, where typically 5-stars go. And now that he doesn't have Talua Tagovailoa, he doesn't have an offense that can sort of put the team on his back, which then brings to your point, and that he uses them terribly. Dante, how many years have we been talking about that the best player for 2 of the years was specifically Roman Hemby, but the year before that, they had another good running back who I believe is in the league, that the best player on Maryland's team was a running back. And how many of those years did we say, why is Maryland not running the ball?
Running the ball. Why are we not running the ball and keeping that quarterback you keep getting hurt from getting hurt?
Like, for the last 3 years, 2 of them again, Roman Hemby. I don't remember who the running back was in 2021, but I believe he's on the Chiefs. I think he's one of the running backs on the Chiefs. Or maybe that's from Rutgers, but there is a running back in the league who is from Maryland. I don't remember which one it is. And for those years, he won 7 games in 2021, he won 8 games in 2022, and he won 8 games in 2023. And in all of those years, I still ranked him as one of the worst coaches in the Big Ten. And I still
because they could have won more than just 8 games.
They could have. So it's just like, speaking about watching football anywhere, I was taking my brother on a recruiting visit. I told this story on the podcast. I was taking my brother on a recruiting visit, and I was on the sidelines watching a game. And I was watching Ohio State, Maryland on my phone. People were asking me what the score was. And that was the year that Maryland almost upset Ohio State. And then they lost because the coach is really bad.
Coach don't know what he's doing.
And now they don't have Talua Tagovailoa. They've lost a bunch of transfers, and they're still stuck with this horrible coach who then let – and don't get me wrong, Billy Edwards Jr. is not the best quarterback, but he was a good quarterback. They then let him walk out the window because he didn't want to be stuck.
Yeah, he didn't want to be stuck there. Don't know.
So, you know,
they were statistically they're better than Purdue, but that's not saying much.
No, not that much. And then on top of that, like we talked about his player retention, right? Just this offseason, they've lost their starting quarterback, starting running back, both tight ends, their top defensive linemen, 2 starting linebackers, and 3 defensive backs. Just this offseason. I don't know what is going on in that program.
And their defense was the best part of that team.
Yeah. And they're also going to have 2 new coordinators because they fired the offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis, who you should have never
in the middle
hired.
of the season, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And then the defensive coordinator left to go to Jacksonville State. I'm guessing maybe as the head coach, but I'm not 100% sure. So he hires Pep Hamilton, who hasn't had a good offense since Andrew Luck was in the NFL.
Oh no!
And he barely had a good offense then because they fired him, and Andrew Luck was his quarterback. How do you get fired and Andrew Luck is your quarterback? Answer me that.
They made the playoffs, didn't they?
I mean, I think they made the playoffs every year. Andrew Luck was healthy.
Yeah.
Boy. And then on top of the fact that they're just straight up not, they have a lot of issues. They're going to be playing with an inexperienced quarterback. They signed a quarterback named Justin Martin, who was the number 20 overall quarterback in the 2022 class, but he hasn't played. And then they have a local blue chip who's a 4 or 5 star quarterback, and Malik Washington.
4-star.
Blue chip. Well, I was saying blue chip is 4 or 5 star. This quarterback is a 4-star. But
yeah, he's a 4-star.
His name is Malik Washington, and he was the number 10 quarterback in 2025, which is a good player. But essentially, they're going to have a quarterback who hasn't played at all in 3 years and couldn't make the starting lineup at UCLA or a true freshman. That is not always a good sign. Something that we will be talking about a lot because there's a couple teams starting true freshmen.
He would probably get the starting position. Probably it seems.
I just think you have to play the true freshman. Yeah. And then he's going to be decent. He's going to transfer out next year. Mm-hmm. So, boy. Man. Their offensive line was bad. And then their best offensive lineman left. So they're bringing in 3 new transfers and an incoming freshman. And hey, it is almost never a good thing for a freshman to be starting on your offensive line unless he's like the freshman starting on your offensive line, and he should be a first-round pick. And occasionally that happens. Texas had a freshman starting on his offensive line. He was a first-round pick. Ohio State had a freshman starting on their offensive line a few years ago.
Doesn't Northwestern always do that?
Pick.
Doesn't Northwestern always got at least one freshman that starts and they end up being a first round pick or something?
Yes. But if that does not happen, which it doesn't happen at most places, you should never have a freshman starting on your offensive line. Yeah. So they brought in a bunch of transfers, as does everyone. That's going to be a super common thing. The rebuild continues on defense. They hired a new coordinator. He was most recently on UNC's defensive staff. Side note, that defense was horrible. So it's. I just feel this is so depressing. I just don't want to talk about this.
It's sad because
they're horrible, and then they were bad last year, and then they lost 10 starters. So how do you expect them to be better?
And it's sad because it says Nolan Ray, he averaged 5 yards a carry, which is really good behind Hemby, but it was a bad offensive line, and he was doing that, and it's a whole new line, and now he's the starting running back. That number's going to drop. Unless he's really that good, like maybe like Hemby is, and maybe he could keep it up to 5 or something, but I predict that to go down. With a freshman quarterback at that too, he has to be good for them.
Yeah, because they're just going to load the box. Let me read this to you. I want to read this specifically. All 3 starting defensive linemen are gone, with veteran Tommy Akinbisoto and Quayshawn Fuller graduating, and Jordan Phillips leaving for the NFL. Then, after spring, their top returning lineman, Levon Johnson, surprisingly transferred out to Texas. So they lost all 4 defensive linemen as well. The only positive is that 3 of their starting. Oh God, no, that's not a positive either. Let me read that again. Let me read this as well. This is so funny. First of all, the person who's writing this is so petty for how he wrote this, and it's hilarious because I almost lied to y'all. So I have to do this so you can see how I almost lied to y'all. Team leader Ruben Hippolyte graduated, but the other 3 starting linebackers were all set to return. This was supposed to be a veteran unit in team strength. However, after spring ball, 2 starters transferred out. So
Indiana and Auburn.
That's 3 different players on their defense that came back, went all the way through the spring, and said, we're gonna be a 6-pack of ass, and left.
They really was like they was practicing the defense. They was in practicing spring ball. They got their reps in. It was like no. It ain't. This ain't the one, coach. It ain't happening, coach. I'm out of here.
Can't do it. They lost 7 defensive backs. They lost 7 defensive backs, bro. It's
7 of them is crazy because 3 of them weren't even starting. Like, dime package is only what 5 or no? That's nickel.
5.
Yeah, dime package is 5.
No, dime is 6. Sorry,
6. So yeah, and like you don't run that often. So like,
no, almost never at this point.
Yeah.
So this is bad. In case you're wondering, like I'm sorry, I can't make this sound good. I can't do it.
This is terrible.
It's bad. This is a bad team. So let's stop talking about them and let's do the schedule. Lucky for them and unlucky for Purdue, their schedule is not as bad. Like Maryland, I think should be the worst team in the conference, but I don't think their schedule is going to show that because the schedule is just not as bad. They have 3. What I think. Oh, hold on. Ooh.
What?
Oh.
Really?
Never mind.
Oh wait, that's from Northern Illinois from the pack, from the MAC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the team that beat Notre Dame last year.
Yeah.
Live listening to us changing our picks. I told you, we stick to it once we say it out loud, but if we didn't say it out loud, we can change it up until the moment. I had to look at that again. I almost lied to y'all twice in 5 minutes. I apologize. That is not like me. I almost said they have 3 guaranteed wins in the beginning. That is not true. That is not true at all because they played Northern Illinois, who, again, as I just mentioned, is the team that beat Notre Dame last year. And I don't think it happened last year, but almost every year, at least one MAC team upsets a Big Ten team. This is my pick. It may be Purdue. Ball State
I think it did happen last year.
Did it? I can't remember.
I think it did. I can't remember either, but I think it did happen last year.
Yeah. There's always a year. Except there was one year I don't think it happened, but almost every year a MAC team beats a Big Ten school.
It's going to happen twice this year.
Who's the second one?
Ball State.
Yeah, Ball State. Okay, I didn't pick that game, but Ball State legitimately may beat Purdue as well. So going through the schedule, we both have a win at Florida Atlantic. I don't trust that at all, but I picked it. And then we both have a loss at Illinois. We both have a win at Townsend. And then for me, that's their last win. You have one more win. So then they play at Wisconsin, loss, bye week. Washington lost, Nebraska lost, UCLA. That is your win, my loss. Why are they beating UCLA? You have to defend
because UCLA. It's not like UCLA is this world beater. It's easily. Here's my thing, right? If Purdue, UCLA, Maryland, Northwestern, and who else is on this list? Wisconsin. They all played each other. Could you really say one is that much better?
Yeah.
So you really think UCLA is just that much better than Maryland? I could easily see. So I could see on paper UCLA being better and still losing this game. Legit, because UCLA, there are teams. Maryland, Purdue. Well, no, Maryland, UCLA, Illinois, and Wisconsin will lose games. You're definitely like, what? And this is one of those games for me for UCLA where you're like, why did you lose this game? You definitely shouldn't have lost this game, and you did.
Okay, so hear me out. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly would believe you more if you picked Rutgers or Michigan State. And the only reason I say this is because while I don't think Nico is the best quarterback in the world, I think he's good enough not to win, not to lose this game, but also
Mm-hmm.
UCLA should have a decent defense, and I'm not sure Maryland can score on UCLA. Where Rutgers, for example, who I think is better than both UCLA and Maryland, Rutgers just has
Mm-hmm.
games where they don't score. Like, just at all. Like
That's
Rutgers
true.
has 1 or 2 games every year where they just
You know,
don't show up.
I'll.
And so,
You know
like,
what?
Maryland could win that game. You've already said
I'll
it.
give you that one.
Now. We already said it.
Oh, you right. I did.
You already said
Right,
you gotta keep it. But like Rutgers is like Maryland could beat Rutgers 10-7 because Rutgers just didn't show up. I don't think you are. I think you're 100% correct in your assessment of UCLA. I just think, in my opinion, when you look at the matchups, I think this is a hard game for UCLA to win. But I do think there's a chance that you're more right than I am, and that they win 3 games versus the 2 that I project because they beat one of these teams that I don't think they should.
It was between those two. It was between Rutgers and UCLA, and I can see UCLA like this could be a close game where UCLA's sometimes their offense doesn't show up, and or they do something silly like throw a pick 6, and that's the winning points there.
Yeah, that is fair. So UCLA, you ever want to have a loss? Bye week, and then they play Indiana at Rutgers, at Illinois, Michigan, Michigan State. We both have losses. I have Maryland at 2-10. You have Maryland at 3-9. Tough team, bad team. Next, we're gonna do Northwestern. And brother, I don't want to talk about Northwestern. And I think Northwestern can be better than both of them. I just don't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And better
is probably going to be better.
I just never like talking about Northwestern. They be sexually assaulting people. Like, that's crazy.
They're at this point. It's almost routine to just be like Northwestern's really not going to be that good. Because it's more than likely that's going to happen, and then we get shocked. They're like, "Oh wow, they won 4 or 5 games," and even that's still not good.
No,
like, it's not good. And I think they lost a lot too.
They did. So here's the thing: Northwestern always does this, where they get like a semi big name like white quarterback who's like probably Catholic, and so people think they're like, "Oh, they're going to be good this year." Because they got insert big white quarterback who's probably Catholic. And like we know his name because he was at a bigger school. And then they're never good. That quarterback this year is Preston Stone from SMU. The problem with this is, yeah, sure, Preston Stone is decent. But Preston Stone
4,000 yards, right?
Lost his job to a freshman.
Yep.
So.
But he threw for... Wait. What did he say? I thought I read somewhere that he threw for 4,000 yards.
I think he did 1 year, a couple years ago. Where is this at? Preston Stone. No, not 4,000. It was 3. In 2023, he threw for 3,000 yards and 28 touchdowns. But he did it in the AAC. Then last year, he went to the ACC, which is the better conference, and lost his job to a freshman. That then freshman led SMU to the ACC championship game. So,
damn.
He's also a pure pocket passer.
Yes,
and I don't think they're going to have a good offensive line. So, and he's injury prone. It's just a lot. Northwestern's not going to be very.
They lost 3 on their offensive line, right? 1 to the draft and 2 through transfers. I thought that's what I read. I didn't read this. Trust me, I believe. Trust me when I say I did read this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they lost.
So they lost
all.
They lost
and they're about to have
quarterbacks. Now I want to find it because I know I read that too.
Struggle with the run push, but gets back their best in all Big Ten honorable mention left tackle. So they get their best lineman back.
They also lose all their wide receivers.
They lost their right guard to LSU.
Here we go. Uh, yeah. So they only bring back one offensive line.
Yeah. Their best lineman, which is the left tackle, and then everybody else is a transfer. Only 3 stars. Yeah, they probably won't have a. That might be. I mean, at least they got left tackle. If packet passer was and your best lineman is that you had was a Big Ten honorable mention is your left tackle, that probably is the best. At least that's the best thing you can get from that. If he's right-handed, I don't know what's the name is, but if he's right-handed, that at least is the best there. The best thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, they always have a good left tackle. They had a left tackle 2 years ago who was like the number 6 pick in the draft, Peter Skronsky. It doesn't do anything. Now he's like, it's just. But also at the same time, right?
What I'm saying is like for someone who's a pure pocket passer, at least that position is sheared up because that's what you're going to need is that left tackle.
Okay, I understand. I wasn't understanding what you were saying. That makes sense.
Like at least there's no one new coming into that position.
Right. Yeah. So on the defensive side of the ball, they play like a very, very sort of conservative bend don't break defense, which is not good when your offense can't score points. Like Iowa plays bend but don't break, but their defense breaks people. Like, you know what I mean? Like Iowa breaks people. Your defense ain't breaking people, and your offense can't score. The one good thing, and this is like the only good thing that we've said about the last 3 teams, they do have 6 returning starters. Like this is the first team that we've talked about that didn't lose everyone. But they did still lose their best players. Like they had a second team all Big Ten player who went to Oregon, Coco Azima, who I've been talking about since he was a freshman. He graduated. Their starting safety went to Baylor. They do have some. They do have a freshman who is really good, who hasn't transferred yet, which is surprising. And safety Damon Walters, he was second in the Big Ten among freshmen in tackles. I think number 1 was Coy Parrish from Minnesota. And then the other good thing that they have. They are returning both of their defensive ends, Aiden Hubbard and Anto Saka. They return, and they combined last year for 11.5 tackles for loss and 9.5 sacks. So there is more to like with Northwestern than the last 2 teams, but there's still nothing to like. And then also they don't have the easiest schedule. So that's tough. Anything else on Northwestern?
No.
It's funny. I think they're a slightly better team than the last 2, and we talked about them the last. I just don't want to talk about Northwestern. I really don't. We do it because we're obligated, right? This is the best Big Ten podcast that exists. But
and it's not.
I can only give you so much.
Yeah, there's not much to really talk about Northwestern. And in fact, like they're losing a lot, and they already didn't have a good offense, and they lost a lot on offense. Your best thing, at least you're bringing in 6 starters on your defense, so that was actually pretty good. It was a pretty good defense for that terrible team. But again, if you're already losing, you're losing starters on your offense, and your offense wasn't good to begin with.
What does that spell out for you?
Yeah, like there's no way.
Yeah. So, schedule. Northwestern, they start at Tulane. I have that as a loss. They play Western Illinois. We both have that as a win. Oregon loss. Then they get an early bye week. A bye week, week 4 is awful. Mm-hmm. They come off the bye, play UCLA. Loss. They play Louisiana and Monroe. We both have that as a win. Oh, we have the exact same schedule for them. Then they play at Purdue. Destroyed.
Penn State.
At Penn State, sorry. Destroyed. Mm-hmm. Then they play Purdue. We gave them the win. And then they lose everything else. They play at Nebraska bye week, at USC, Michigan, Minnesota, at Illinois. Losses.
That's a nasty 4-week end.
Yeah. Expect like at USC, Michigan, Minnesota, at Illinois. And the funny thing is, USC, not going to be amazing, but they're going to be better. They play a funky offense. Their defense is probably not going to be able to stop them. And then they play 3 straight teams that literally want to go into a bar and punch you in the face for 3 hours.
Yeah, even if they're not that good, because Minnesota's not that good, but it's going to be
But they want to go into a bar
game.
and punch you in the face for 3 hours. Like, that's literally, that's all Minnesota's going to do.
I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota loses that game, though. I wouldn't be surprised. Because, again, Northwestern didn't pull out, 5 wins last year nastily?
I can tell you.
Something like that. It says it in the article, doesn't it? 4 games.
They won 4.
Oh, so that would be 4 again.
But it was against, but the 2 in the Big Ten was Maryland and Purdue. So, like.
Never mind.
Yeah. All right.
I still think Minnesota could lose that game, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, anything is possible, but I'm not predicting that one. And you didn't predict it either, but it's definitely possible that it could happen. Moving on, Wisconsin. This hurts me to my soul that Wisconsin's going to be bad this year. And part of the reason that Wisconsin's going to be bad is it's legitimately just an awful schedule. Like, hold on, I have to find this. They play one of, if not the hardest schedule in the conference, and it is so unfortunate. Wisconsin, literally, okay, I'm just reading it for you. Wisconsin lost the schedule lottery this year by drawing 7 of the Big Ten's top 2 and just 2 of the bottom 8. They play every single team in the Big Ten who people think can make the playoffs, and they play Alabama. So it's like, yeah, I do think they're going to be better. But it's not going to matter in the record because they play everyone. They play Alabama. They play at Alabama, for one. Not just playing Alabama. They play at Alabama. They play at Michigan. They play Iowa. They play Ohio State. They play Oregon, at Oregon. And on top of that, it's in a row. They play at Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, at Oregon in a row. That is disgusting. And then they have a bye week, and it doesn't let up. They then play Washington, at Indiana, Illinois. And then they finish with Minnesota, who we just said wants to go into a bar and punch you in the face. This schedule's awful. And
they
even
might
if
be
I think,
by that game, but
yeah, like even the Minnesota game, it's like, could they beat Minnesota? Sure. But are they going to beat Minnesota when their last 7 games was Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, Oregon, Washington, Indiana, and Illinois?
It's possible. It's possible because Minnesota. The one problem with Minnesota is that they don't keep players healthy.
Fair.
And that's my reasoning. That is my reasoning. We haven't gotten there, but there you go. That's my reasoning as to why.
Honestly, like, I don't want to talk about Wisconsin, and it's only because the schedule. Because there's nothing that I can say that matters when you have this schedule.
Yeah, they are going. I did read they're going back to their what's the word? Their personality or their identity or
thank the Lord
for Wisconsin. On offense is running the ball and smash mouth football. So they did say they're going back to that, which I am happy to hear.
Yes,
it's just this is. I guess this might be the worst and perfect year to start. Because it's like, at least get it started now in such a hard schedule. But damn, this is such a hard schedule.
Yes. So they fired Phil Longo, who, if you listen to this podcast, Dante can attest. Dante will tell you if I'm lying at any point that the singular second they hired Phil Longo, I was mad and I said it wasn't going to work and they should have never done it. So they went out and they hired Jeff Grimes, who, as you said, is going to return to that style of play. You could say that Jeff Grimes' offense is grimy. I'm just playing. That was a bad joke. It's fine. Let's see. The one, so, and that's the thing, it's just like, I want to say good things because, like, there is some positive, but then you look at the schedule. Like, again, I like Billy Edwards. I think he's a fine college quarterback. He's not Wisconsin. Billy Edwards is going to be the best quarterback that Wisconsin's had in the last, like, 3 or 4 years. But then the schedule. I think that They also lost their best running back. So they also have unproven running backs, but it's Wisconsin. Yeah. I just assume they're going to have good running backs, especially because like Luke Fickell didn't lose everything, and Luke Fickell also always had good running backs. So you can assume that they probably had good running backs, but and they have decent receivers. They're keeping 2 receivers, Vinny Anthony and Treach. Oof, that's the name. Treach.
Yes, it is.
They have someone coming from Notre Dame, which I wouldn't want. Will Pauling, which I wouldn't want anyone from Notre Dame. And then on top of that, they signed Jaden Ballard from Ohio State. So here's the thing: Ohio State has this problem where because Brian Hartline,
I think he went to Notre Dame. Will Pauling?
No, I'm talking about someone else. I'm talking about Jaden Ballard. Ohio State has this problem. Oh, I did, and then I moved on.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
Will Pauling went to Notre Dame, and I said I wouldn't want to take anyone from Notre Dame. And then they've got Jaden Ballard from Ohio State. So Ohio State has this problem where because Brian Hartline was a white receiver who made it to the NFL, meaning he wasn't the biggest, the strongest, or the fastest, he had to be a complete wide receiver. He therefore makes sure all of his receivers are complete wide receivers, and if you're not complete, he won't play you. That works. That gets your best players to the NFL. The problem with that is every once in a while, you just need a wide receiver who's going to run a 4.3 and go deep. And we saw that with, why am I losing his name right now? We saw that with the wide receiver who left Ohio State and went to Alabama, and all he did was run one route, and then he got drafted by the Detroit Lions. I'm losing his name right now. Jaden Ballard is the same type of player, and that he was never a complete wide receiver, but he runs really fast, and he just never got on the field at Ohio State. So at least they have him. He's probably going to have a couple of really deep touchdowns. And so that's the thing. It's just like, I want to be good. I want to be happy for them. Wisconsin returns 3 starters on the offensive line, right? Like now they did lose their 2 best, but they returned 2 starters on the offensive line.
I think one got drafted, I believe.
Yeah, like they brought in 5 4-stars on the defensive line to compete. They brought in Mason Rieger from Louisville, oh my God. Yep. Black people.
Javier. I think it's Javier.
Black people, please.
Yeah.
Javier.
Chat. I'm going to type this name for y'all in chat so you can see what I was able to try.
No, it's Javier at work. Oh man, is it? No, it's
I think it might be Javier.
Spelled wrong, or is it JVR and it's spelled exactly how it sounds? You can never tell with black people.
Javier. It could be Javier.
Ooh, it's Javier. I'm going with Javier.
I'm going with Javier too.
Javier Sugg from LSU, Parker Peterson from Tulane, Michael Gardner from Georgia, and Tyrese Fearbry from Kentucky. They have some other 4-stars. The defense wasn't good, but they started to get better. They are returning both of their starting cornerbacks in Ricardo Hallman and Nazir for Qwan. It's just like, this is a team that shouldn't be this bad. And then you look at the schedule, and it's just very, very unfortunate. Honestly,
they're going to be competing in these games, but they're going to.
Yeah, I would even.
Some of these games they're going to be close for like the half, and then maybe pull away later, and then some games are going to be in the whole time, but still end up losing, like Michigan.
Like, I could see an upset bid at Michigan or Iowa, and then they lose the game. Like, I don't think they're just going to be like horrible. But the other thing is, if some of these games were moved around in other places where they got a bit of a break, it would be different. But again, they
where do you
Michigan,
move it around?
Iowa, Ohio State, and Oregon in a row.
Yeah, my thing is, it's like, where do you move it around where you get a break? Because even if
Minnesota, in between, like if you go Michigan, Iowa,
but I think they have to play Minnesota at the end of this season.
You're right.
I think that's always a thing.
So the only one you could move is Washington, and that
you can't move it where that helps.
You can't move anything because you
can't move anything.
Their schedule is just tough, dog. It's just tough.
Because even when they get in the Big Ten, which is Maryland, at least for you, is where do you
I
move
mean,
that
if you
game
put,
now? Because again, you put it in between, you're still gonna get at least a
I would
5
do
game
any,
slid where it's going to be tough.
but there's bye weeks.
There's
But
always going to be a 5 game skid.
I'm not saying that they would win these games, but I would move Maryland and Ohio State so you at least don't go Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, Oregon. Yes, then you would go Alabama, Ohio
But
State.
then you hold on. But no, wait, no, sir. You go this. It's even worse because now think about what you're saying. You go Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Iowa, then Maryland.
But there's a bye.
You still getting smacked for 2 games.
I know, but like at least.
And then off of Maryland, and here, you know what's crazy about that? That's a loss now. Maryland game's a loss.
Okay, you're right. There's nothing you can do with this schedule.
There's nothing you can do, and then you go at Oregon, lose Washington, Indiana, Illinois. Like,
yeah. All right. Well. Let's just
if they didn't have Alabama on the schedule, then there's ways to fix this schedule. Alabama makes this schedule so much worse.
Like again, as we said, they play 7 of the. They play what was it? I said they played 7 or 5 of the top 7. Hold on, let me find it. They play 7 of the top 10, and then you add in Alabama.
I almost hold on. Every team besides Maryland had a bowl game last year.
Minnesota?
I think Minnesota made a bowl game last year.
Oh.
As soon as you get out of Middle Tennessee, every team besides Maryland made a bowl game last year.
Are we sure that Middle Tennessee didn't make a bowl game?
I don't know.
Yeah. Hold on.
But, bruh.
Yeah, no. Minnesota made a bowl game, and then they beat Virginia Tech. So.
Yep. Every team but Maryland. They played their Big Ten schedule all made a bowl game.
Truth is
no, I'm sorry, Maryland didn't. But yeah, every team they played after week 2.
Were you?
Only one. You have 3 games here where they don't make a. Did Miami of Ohio make a bowl game?
I'm googling it right now. This schedule is the Popeyes meme. The lady outside of Popeyes with the
yeah. Oh yeah.
Hold on, let me see. What did they do? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. Yeah. Oh God.
Oh no.
They won 9 games.
Teams?
Miami, Ohio won 9 games last year. They got smacked up. They got smacked up in the MAC championship game, but they won 9 games last year.
So it's only 2 teams on their schedule. You might want to look at Middle Tennessee.
I am. Before we say this too confidently, I do think Middle Tennessee did not, but now I have to look.
Because I might be tired too.
Listen, Middle Tennessee. I'm gonna tell you here in a second, boy, because I was gonna say I was like really positive that Miami of Ohio did, but I forgot that they were like actually like really good last year.
Yeah, I didn't even know. That's
this is horrible podcasting.
Oh my god.
Okay, nope. We're safe.
Okay, so all right.
I went 3-9.
So, there are only 2 teams on their schedule that didn't make a gosh darn bowl game.
Yeah. This is depressing. Let's just do the schedule. Miami of Ohio, which I am less confident they're going to win, but I'm still going to give it to them because they did have some good things happen. Miami of Ohio, Middle Tennessee, we both have a win. And then we both have a loss at Alabama. And we both have them beating Maryland. Then they go on a bye. And for the 7th time that I've said this,
I'm not so confident about that Maryland game. But it's too
them,
late now. But God.
It's too early. But I'm giving it to them. Cause I just think Maryland's going to be really, really bad. And then they have a bye. And then, as I've said multiple times, they then go at Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, at Oregon, all losses, bye week. Washington, at Indiana, Illinois, all losses. And then at Minnesota, you have Minnesota as a win. I have Minnesota as a loss. You've already said it, but do you want to reiterate just
I'll
right now
repeat
why
it.
Minnesota?
The reason why is because Minnesota. Two reasons: Minnesota loses games like these, and Minnesota has a history of at least as long as we've been doing this podcast, where they have injury to key players.
Yes.
Throughout the season, so I give this win to Wisconsin for that reason. For those two reasons, I mean.
Yep. So, boom. All right, UCLA. Whew, this is a podcast. Let's knock it out. UCLA. UCLA lost Chip Kelly. They hired a unknown coach who was one of their best running backs. They weren't great last year in the first 6 games.
But that was a rebuild.
Yeah, and then they got
this
better.
Is a rebuild.
Yeah, then they got better in the last 6 games, beating 3 teams that went to bowl games: Rutgers, Nebraska, and Iowa, and they almost beat USC.
They sure did.
They have positive momentum. They,
I think they were in the LSU game too.
I don't remember, but you may be right. I honestly don't remember, but LSU, yeah. So, like, they seemed like they had positive momentum, and then the transfer portal happened. They lost their starting quarterback, starting running back, top 2 wide receivers, and their starting left tackle. And they switched offensive coordinators, which is hilarious because they hired Eric Bieniemy, and it's so funny. Like, listen, I'm always pro why are black people not getting jobs, and everybody was like, oh my god, Eric Bieniemy's not getting hired, everyone's racist, all the white Chiefs offensive coordinators got hired, why isn't Eric Bieniemy? And then we just found out it was because he was bad. Wasn't because he was black, he was just bad. He's been bad everywhere. He was literally Patrick Mahomes' offensive coordinator, went to UCLA and got fired in 1 year. So that's tough. UCLA did hit a lottery of sorts, and that Nico Iamaleava decided that he wanted to make money.
Was it Penn State?
And then he did not get said money. And so he hit the transfer portal from Tennessee. And he still didn't get said money because UCLA didn't give it to him. But I think he's from California or something was going on. So they got Nico, who is a solid quarterback, which is helpful. So that's good because they did lose their quarterback. So they got Nico. That is definitely a positive for what they have going on. But other than that, they did lose a lot of people. And I'm not sure that their coach is that good. So I do think that they're going to be a team that like maybe loses some, almost like USC last year, where like they have some games where they put up like 35 and still lose. They have some games where it looks like it's going to be an upset and then they collapse. They have some games where it looks like it's going to be a blowout and then they almost come back. Like, I don't think they're going to be an awful team to watch. I just don't. It's just tough. Like, I mean, the Big Ten's hard. Like, the Big Ten's hard. It just is what it is. They also don't have the easiest schedule. They play Penn State and they play Ohio State. They also play Utah, who I think is going to be pretty good. So they don't get the 3 guaranteed wins in the non-conference. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know that it's fair to call them a bad team. They're just not a good team. It's just someone. The mantra of last year that we're going to pick up again this year is someone has to lose the games. It's just the way it is. Someone has to lose. And so with that, that's probably going to be UCLA, especially because despite the fact that their head coach is a running back, their running game was awful. So without the running game, it's going to be tough. Man, we've been doing this for a long time. I'm starting to lose steam.
Their offense talk about poor, but I honestly, it was just his second year, right?
This is his second year, yeah.
Yeah, so I I expect first year head coaches, especially when they're first year, their offense to be bad and defense be pretty decent. So their running game being bad, even though he's a running back and stuff like that, doesn't surprise me because again, first year head coach. But
it sort of surprises me because they were really good with Chip Kelly, but Chip Kelly's like everyone talks about Chip Kelly as like a passing guy, but he's always a running guy.
He's a psycho.
He honestly. So to try to lock in, they lose their starting running back. They bring in a running back from the Big Sky at Idaho who ran for 1,100 yards and 16 touchdowns, but you never know how that's going to translate from that level to the Big Ten. They also bring in a running back from Cal. They lose 3 of their starting offensive linemen. They're bringing in guys from the Power 4, but one of them started at USC, which is not a good sign. And then the other ones just they're big names. Like they had high recruiting, but they haven't really played. On defense, they have to replace 9 starters, which is just not good, including their linebacker Carson Schlesinger, who was a second-round pick. I think maybe he went to the Browns. A couple years ago, they lost Laiatu Latu. So, like, they've had some stars on defense that they just kind of keep losing. And so it's sort of unfortunate with that. Their linebacker Schlesinger had 136 tackles. They are bringing, oh my gosh, I don't like the way this sounds. Transfer portal frequent flyers. That's always a bad sign. You don't want those players. Key Lawrence and Byron Threats were both 2023 starters, but had quieter 2023s at new schools. They bring in a former 4-star Cole Martin from Arizona State. Here's the thing, man. It's just you can't lose 9 starters and expect to be good. You can't lose the best player on your defense, who's a second-round pick. You get an upgrade by bringing in Nico, but you lose your best running back and you're bringing in someone from Idaho, so you don't know if that's going to translate to the Big Ten. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
It's going to be
it's not a good sign.
To bad season.
And you have a coach who's never coached before, and so you can't guarantee that he can coach in this spot. Like, you don't know if he's going to be a good coach at all, and then he doesn't have great players right now. What do you want me to say?
It's not looking good. They have a pretty tough schedule as well.
Yeah. I mean, in the non-conference, they play Utah, UNLV, and New Mexico. And typically that sounds crazy, but UNLV has been good. They won 11 games last year. The only reason I have them winning that game is because UNLV lost their coach. And New Mexico was good last year. The only reason I have them winning that game is because I think New Mexico's coach is now at UNLV, or he's somewhere. So and then they play Utah. So, like, they don't have any guaranteed games. And then they have a Big Ten schedule. I have them winning 4. You have them winning 5. And honestly, they should thank their lucky stars if they get that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to the I-80 football show. Just in case we have video, because I don't know if the video is going to work, and the video editing is a little bit choppy, I couldn't just act like we didn't have technical difficulties. But yeah, we right back in it. On to UCLA schedule. I don't have nothing else to say about UCLA. I don't want to talk about them no more. Like I said, it's a tough team with a new coach that lost a lot of people on defense. They literally, in the last 2 years, they had a second-round player and a first-round player on defense. They don't got them anymore. So let's just do the schedule.
Yep.
And they have a tough out-of-conference by playing Utah, which love that. I love that they're playing Utah, but that's not great for them. So week 1, Utah, we both have as a loss. Week 2, UNLV, at UNLV, we both have as a win. And again, I only have that as a win because UNLV's coach is now at Purdue, because UNLV won 11 games last year. So there's a chance that they're still good, but I'm just going to give it to UCLA. New Mexico, we both has a win. Bye week, we both have them winning at Northwestern. So we have them starting 3-1. That's real cute. And then it gets real ugly. They play Penn State, loss, at Michigan State, that is a game that they could win. Like this is. We say all these things, but like a couple of things going their way, this could easily be a 6-16.
Yep.
Like we could have flipped this, but I have a little bit more faith in Michigan State this year, partially because they have a better coach. So lost to
Your
Penn State.
quarterback's a 2-year starter as well. Where UCLA might be having a fresh
no. UCLA's quarterback is from Tennessee,
but a first year starter for the program.
Yes, yeah. For the program, first year starter for the program, and a new offensive coordinator as well. So lost, and it's at Michigan State. If it was at home, maybe I'd feel different.
Probably
lost. So we both have a loss at Michigan State. Then they play Maryland. You have a loss. I have a win. I just think Maryland's going to be worse than you. So then they play at Indiana. We both have a loss. Then they play bye. Why do you have? See, okay, you have to explain these last two. So then they play Nebraska. I have a win. You have a win. I have a loss. At Ohio State, loss. Washington, you have a win. I have a loss. Mm-hmm. And then at USC, we both have losses. Where do you...
How do I get the Nebraska and Washington? For Nebraska, I think Nebraska's going to be good, but I think I say this answer like almost every year when I do stuff like this, and I know I'm going to say there are games that don't make sense in the Big Ten a lot of the time, and it's been happening in the SEC too. Remember when Alabama lost to Vanderbilt?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Whereas just something that doesn't make any sense. It just sometimes, because I think UCLA will be competitive in a lot of these games. I think UCLA will probably be the most competitive next to Wisconsin out of these teams. Oh my goodness, that we're talking about today. And I can see Nebraska slacking off. So Nebraska slacks off. Washington isn't the world beater they were just like a few years ago, and I could see them also losing that game. I'm not 100% certain on the Washington game, but I'm not 100% sold on Nebraska just yet.
Fair enough.
Just yet. Yeah.
I just.
And again, UCLA did that random run at the end of last year. I know a lot of those players are gone. But what's to say something like that can't happen? Where they just get a few weird wins out of the way. I think UCLA could become a 5-7. It can be a 5-17. You could take Nebraska and change Washington to Maryland. Like, I see why you think they'd beat Maryland. I just think there's certain games where you're like, why did you lose that game? Like, how'd you lose? I can see us at the end of the season going, how'd you lose to Maryland but you beat Nebraska? And that's been something we've said for teams plenty of times. And I think UCLA was one too.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, how did you pull that off? I think UCLA would be one of those weird schools where they pull off wins that they shouldn't have, but they miss out on a bowl game.
Yeah. It's sound logic. I just think Dylan Raiola. I guess for me, the Nebraska one could happen if Dylan Raiola throws like 2 interceptions, which is
it's possible,
not feasible. So weird things happen all the time. Mm-hmm. But I have them ultimately at 4-8, and you have them at 5-7.
Yeah.
So that is the end of our first preview. This is the gutter. The bottom feeders. And to wrap up the show, as always, we wrap it up with our I-80. That is not what we wrap it up. I'm exhausted. We wrap it up with our pit stop. Speaking of I-80, I don't even like I-80 no more. I'm about to change the name. I just found out I got a speeding ticket. I guess there's cameras on I-80. I don't even remember speeding, dog. I don't know, bro. I-80 some haters. Dude, this whole podcast and you don't give me a speeding ticket. That's crazy. Anyways, my pit stop will be short and sweet. I like to smell good. I like cologne. Cologne is very expensive.
Yes, it is.
And so I found out about this thing, and this is like free marketing, but there's a reason that I'm saying this. I found out about this thing called Scentbox, where for like $20 you can get like I'd never heard of it. You can get like a smaller thing of like cologne sent to you, and it's like trial size or whatever. It's basically supposed to last a month. It's like 4 sprays a day for 30 days. That's what they say. If you have multiple colognes like I do, it means you'll have it for a little bit because like I'm not going to use one cologne every single day. I say all of this to say though, I was really excited. I got it. I got Gucci Guilty. I wanted to smell it, see what it was like, and then my USPS driver stole it. So literally was just like it got scanned in a location that was not even on my street. So that was crazy. But shout out to them for sending me another one for free so I didn't lose it. And I got it today. And I was literally like, yeah, my USPS driver was like, I'm already fresh enough. I stole the last one. I'll let you get this one. But it's crazy. Yeah, like, literally said it was delivered. And they're like, no, it wasn't. So they stole it. So
that's crazy that he
but my cologne came in the mail today, so shout out. I'm like, damn, niggas trying to smell good, bro. Like, what are you doing?
You know what? I could just piggyback off of that because I think last week I actually got 2 new scents of cologne that I picked out. I was at what's it, Marshall's or something? You know how Marshall's always got cologne for real, for cheap too. And I was just sniffing them, and I was like, "This actually smells pretty good." So I bought that, and then forgot that I ordered something from Fat Kid Deals. Fat Kid Deals had put up like a Burberry cologne, and I was like, "I wonder what that smells like." So I bought it. It smells pretty good, actually. I ain't even lie. So yeah, I think I'm 30. I'm definitely 30.
What?
Yeah, because I've been, because I was when I smelled it too, I was like, it's a grown man smell. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Listen. Well, yeah. So that's it. That's the show. Football season's here. We're going almost 2 hours again. That's how you know we back. Yep. But yeah, so we will catch you next week. Next week we will be a little bit better because these teams are actually teams that are going to win some games. This is our bowl tier. These are all teams that we think are going to make a bowl game. As always, if you've made it this far, first of all, thank you because like that's a 2-hour show. But follow us on Instagram. Yes, Get Defensive Sports Network. Follow us on YouTube. Get Defensive Sports Network. Follow us on TikTok. GD Sports Network. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. We all know you have a football fanatic in your family. Every single
somebody likes football.
Someone likes football podcasts. Someone, whatever.
Somebody likes college football.
Yeah, stop playing. And also, everyone has a million YouTubes. Just follow it on other people's YouTube, even if they never watch it. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Just log in on their phone. Whoop whoop. I know. Almost everybody I know has like 3 YouTubes logged into their TV. Go ahead, subscribe on all of them. Mm-hmm, it's just a notification. That'd be all right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, be cool. We'll catch you next week.